It's Saturday today, and as I don't have much time tomorrow, I'm just gonna record a video today. I'm gonna take an hour or so to take pictures with my A7c and the 55mm. Let's see what I can take in an hour. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes in and I feel like I've gotten nothing, so I better up and get some pictures. I am really struggling to make any pictures that I find interesting. Now obviously I've walked through this town countless of times before, and I don't know, I think it's time to move on because yeah, I think I've about covered this town, to be honest. Okay, so we're about 30 minutes in now and I've taken about 20 pictures, 15 of which are absolute trash. I'm not sure if I'm gonna even make 10 pictures this time. You know, the funny thing about being in such a small town is that I feel like I'm being watched constantly. I don't know, I don't really have that as much in the city. Okay, so I think I just got at least one picture which was worth going out for. Basically a granddad and his grandson, I guess, fixing up a motorcycle. It's a nice moment, so I asked them if I could take a picture, so pretty happy with that one, I think. Alright, so all of this footage is being shot on the RX100. I presume the microphone isn't the best, but I hope you can understand me. I'm about 40 minutes in now, I think, and I think I've actually had some decent shots, so yeah, pretty happy about it so far. 20 minutes to go. Alright, just got home. Took an hour worth of pictures with my Sony A7c and the Zeiss 55 using only one lens. I actually like walking around with just one lens and focusing on just taking pictures without having to switch. So yeah, pretty happy, I think. I'm gonna go inside and have a look at the photos, see if there's anything worth showing to you guys. Just making a selection for the photos. This is also being shot on the Sony A7c with the Zeiss 55mm F1.8, and as you can see here with the glow, I'm using the ND or variable ND mist filter by not Polar Pro, that's too expensive, by Freewell, which I also used for the pictures that I'm about to show you. Having to come up with a video every week is kind of challenging, but when you set a challenge for yourself for a certain video, I find it quite easy to make videos like that. So just challenge yourself to, I don't know, film for an hour, use that for your video, or take photos for an hour, use that for your video. In the end, I ended up taking 150 photos. I am just finishing up my export for the pictures that I edited. I chose to have 10 in the end, kind of a good number, which I usually stick to, but tested out the 55, which is, by the way, my newest lens. So I kind of traded in another lens, committed a sin, I think, by trading in the Sony 135 in order to get two other lenses, so the 14 and the 55, which I think makes a lot of sense for me, to be honest, because they are much smaller, and the 135, even though it is an amazing lens, it's kind of a beast. But yeah, first picture is of this buoy. I just like that thing for some reason. I don't know why, because it stands out, I guess. And yeah, I like the composition of this one. Didn't really have time to play around with long exposures yesterday, because otherwise I probably would have done that. All of the pictures, by the way, I used using the same filter that I'm using right now, which is the variable ND mist filter from Freewell. Didn't really bother taking it off, so I just took pictures with that as well, and tried to experiment a little bit with that. So yeah, that's the first picture. Moving on, next picture is of another animal. So it looks like photographing animals in my town is what I've resorted to. Yeah, this little cat actually was on the front side of this little bridge over the water first, and I tried to make a decent picture, but it was very camera shy and it started to hide behind the fence, and then I just shot this picture. Let's see, the third image is another pet in this case, but it's a dog. As soon as I walked past their property, it started barking at me, trying to protect their privacy, I guess. But he kind of failed, managed to snap this shot. So yeah, that's picture number 3. Next picture is of this, I guess it's a goose. Yeah, I think it's probably a goose. I saw this guy
from across the pond basically, and I was like, okay, if it stays there, I'm gonna try and make a picture of him. I must say though, the 55mm is actually a very nice walk around lens, so I do really like it. And yeah, I kind of like this shot as well. As soon as I clicked this picture, he flew off, so I only had one chance, took this one. I'm just gonna have to do with that one. Next picture is of, well, there used to be a sign there, but I kind of like the composition I managed to get, kind of leveling the horizon right in between the two bits that used to hold a sign, I guess. I kind of like this as a somewhat creative shot, I guess. Next shot is picture number 6, which is, there's this children's playground there, and they have this slide. Try to match it up right in the center of the image. Maybe should have gone down a little bit more so to hide the buildings in the background, or alternatively include the buildings a little bit more, or the houses, but still kind of like this shot. The 7th image is of the same playground, and there's this horse. Should I call it a horse? Probably is supposed to be a horse, right? Anyways, I remember using these things when I was younger and hitting the floor as you were trying to go up and down, I guess. And tumbling over many times as well, I'm pretty sure. But I kind of like this shot. It's not a really... Yeah, let's keep it at that. Next shot is of my favorite animal, it appears to be anyways. The sheep in this town are always helping me to get to my 10 pictures, it seems. This guy standing right in the middle there didn't mind me at all taking pictures. Not sure if it is the same guy that I took pictures of last week, but yeah, still managed to grab another shot. Now the second to last picture is somewhat architectural, I guess you could call it. This water tower, which is also one of the stars of my photos. Never really took it from this angle, but I kind of like it, to be honest. I mean, I cropped obviously 90% of the building off, so it's just the top, but with the sky around it, I kind of like this one, to be honest. And I edited the colors a little bit to make it appear nicer than it was. Last picture, and I saved this one specifically for last because lately I've been really thinking more about photography and what it can mean to people, and I think portraits, they're definitely my weakness, but I really like portraits because they capture a moment of certain people in time, and they're just memories basically. So I saw this grandfather with his grandson working on a moped basically, and I asked them if I could take a picture, and I managed to grab this shot, and I really like it because it's a moment for them. His grandson is obviously helping him with the motorcycle, and if I were to give this picture to them, I would think that it would be a very nice moment to have. So I'm actually considering to just print it and maybe bring it to them, because yeah, I don't know, maybe in 20 years time this kid will be like, oh, that's a nice moment, me and my grandfather working on a motorcycle. I remember those days. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about a lot lately, portraiture. I need to work on portraiture. I guess this is not really a portrait, but pictures of people, I guess I should say. So yeah, those are the 10 pictures I selected. I had a hard time this week making a video because I simply didn't have that much time. I had plans to visit one of my friends. So yesterday, before I went to my friend's house, I was like, okay, I gotta record something so I can edit it on Sunday. So I woke up in the morning, I was like, well, I got a new lens, I'm just gonna go out and shoot some pictures. I'm gonna spend a maximum of 1 hour. Why not just challenge myself to make as many good pictures as possible in 1 hour's time? And that is what I did, and those are the pictures that I made. Let me know which one you liked best again, and let me know what you think about the 55. Is it a good choice for me to ditch my 135 and get the 14 and the 55, or am I crazy for selling the 135? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.